Hey guys, it's your host for the H-Town Rundown Houston Rockets and for the H-Town Rundown Basketball Podcast. Guys, we all want to talk about today. Let's jump right. Well, guys, we're back again for another episode. We had some technical difficulties on my end, so we didn't have an episode Friday. So we're doing it a little late today on a Sunday. So, hopefully, thank you guys for bearing with us on that. I'm here with my boy Ryan and we're with my boy Dante, man. It's good to be back again with my main host to talk about some more Rockets ball. Ryan, man, what's good, brother?
Man, it's just a new week. Today's Sunday, so gotta get into the week. A lot of homework. Y'all can all tap in. Rockets on Sports Illustrated. My first 4 articles are up, so go look at those. But everything's going well, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We love to see it and love the self-plug, man. Go check it out, man. You're gonna be future on Sports Illustrated, bro. Go check it out. And Dante, man, you've been doing so much for NFL so far, man. Well, it's tired as hell. I know he mad about that loss a couple nights ago, last night with the Texans against the Vikings over there. But Dante, man, how you been? What's good?
Yeah, I'm alright. Like I say, Texans just had an off game. We all had those. But like I say, man, happy that Rockets basketball. We got we October coming up soon. We November preseason for the year start. So man, we ought to be excited, man. It's something to be excited about. For our Houston Rockets. We ain't been excited in 3 years prior to last year. So it feels good to talk some Rockets basketball. I'm ready to get into it.
Absolutely, Dante couldn't have said it better, guys.
I just want to make a quick side comment, Preston. You brought up the Texans. I'm a big Texans fan. Let's get a new offensive line. Tunsil he needs to start getting benched. All right, that's it. We can continue. Sorry. So I've been holding in this anger all day about it. It's like I have a platform to say it.
We need someone to talk about the truth on this pod here, man. Talk about that O-line. But yeah. Got me out of the groove now. We talk about Texans. Guys, we're going to talk about a lot today on the rundown. So let's do our Rockets rundown real quick today. First, I want to talk about what it's necessary and what the Rockets need to do in order to make the plan, right? What expectations are set, what's needed, and then what are some things that aren't necessarily needed but should happen along the way with that. Obviously, some of that comes with growth and whatnot, consistency. So let's just get it right out the gate, right? To get the play in, Jalen Green's got to be something. That's just, I think that's the glaring thing right there for us to get the play in. So let's get the obvious one out the way. Ryan, bro, tell me about your boy Jalen, man. What is this other than consistency specifically, right? What does he need to do to help, thrust us into the play?
All right, well, I'm just going to start with this quickly. I think Jalen Green is the ceiling and Alperen Sengun is the floor, which means that our ceiling is really high and our floor is really high. Sorry, I just got a text. So if our floor is really high, our ceiling is really high, that means that we're going to be a really good team regardless. And I think Jalen Green just needs to be confident. If y'all had looked at the article this past week, I think it was my first article that came out on Rocket Sports Illustrated. And of course, the first one had to be about Jalen Green. And so with that said, if Jalen Green can stay confident, I'll reinstate what I said on my article. His confidence, when he plays with his confidence to the roof, our team is unstoppable. Look at what happened in March. Step back threes, turnaround threes, layups that look like Michael Jordan. Come on.
For real. I mean, not to mention he was cooking teams left and right.
And when Jalen Green is confident and plays well, the rest of our team plays well. He got Jock Landale to play good. If Jalen Green can play good, anyone else can play good. And that is exactly why Jock Landale played well in March. without Shen.
It's definitely one of the reasons for sure. But yeah, I mean, Jalen playing well opens up the entire floor, right? Because you're doubling them at points, tripling them in the paint, right? You just when he's on fire, man, he is on fire, bro. And we've seen it throughout his entire career. We've seen it in games where he's just like where he's on a heater, and it don't matter the game plan. It's over. You know, you just pray he misses, and at the end of the day, when he's not missing, right? But Dante, do you have anything more to add about Jalen Green? You know, like what else do you think maybe he needs to do to help make sure the team gets into the play this year?
Well, first of all, Ryan, that goddamn Ryan, gonna always figure out a way to try to bring Jock Landale in it. But the question is never asked: are we 41-41 without Jock Landale playing the way he actually?
Yes, because Jalen Green makes the team around him better when Jalen Green.
We're 41. We're 41-41 without Jock Landale playing the way he's playing.
Actually, we're 40 without Jock Landale.
We understand Jalen Green. We understand Jalen Green turns hot in the second half, which is he always do. He's been doing that the last 3 seasons, and we still been the same squad.
Right. So we need to see
coming off an injury, ankle injury. LP gets hurt in Phoenix, and the best thing to do it against your old team when you took DeAndre Ayton spot. Matter of fact, DeAndre Ayton supposed to be the superstar, but I mean,
bro, Jock Landale outplayed his ass.
I've been wanting Jock. I'm not a fan of Jock Landale, but for me as a diehard Rockets fan, I just cannot allow that because we cannot discredit this guy from all the double doubles and how he played. In how he played, he was making jump shots, he was blocking shots on defense, he was actually rebounding. But what I was want to say, for us to elevate, I think Jalen Green is the key guy. I think when he's playing well, I think we just as unstoppable. I think we're unstoppable, especially with LP playing the way he's playing. And another thing, I think we just need to get into more fights to have a little bit more tough because we're undefeated when we actually fight. We're undefeated when we actually fight.
And you know what's what's great about that? DeMar DeRozan is on the Kings. And if DeMar DeRozan is on the Kings and we already have bad blood with him as a player, we're going to beat them every game if we fight with them. And look, I'm not praying we fight. I don't want any fights.
Yeah.
But with that being said, if we do fight the Kings, I would not be against it. I'm against fights. I'm not against fighting DeRozan.
But most likely, what I want to say, since what about our expectation? My main thing, the main goal is it's not about Jalen Green. It's not about Jalen Green. It's about just beat the teams you're supposed to beat. That's all I care about. You just got to beat like the teams like Detroit. You got to beat those type of teams. Brooklyn, you have to beat those teams when you definitely play. Especially you only play them 2 times a year. Teams like San Antonio, you got to beat those. You got to beat those type of teams. And like I said again, just beat the teams you're supposed to beat. That's the main goal. Beat the teams you're supposed to beat.
All right,
100%.
I do like what you said about like beating the teams we're supposed to beat. If we don't beat the Nets, a backcourt of house builders, Ben Simmons and Killian Hayes, if we don't beat them, then there's an issue.
Bro, remember Killian Hayes is the next Harden. Watch out.
And also, it was not Texans versus refs. It was Texans versus Laramie Tunzel.
Yeah.
Laramie Tunzel's turning into the Jock Landale of the Texans.
Oh my goodness, bro. Look, if you want to aim your disdain for a player, just make sure it's aimed at anybody besides the Houston Rockets, right? We got to love our players on our team.
That's why Jock Landale shouldn't be on the team.
Oh my goodness. Next question. No,
so we didn't get your answer.
We talked. Oh, well, okay. You want my answer? Obviously, we talked about winning basketball, right? Just making sure we're playing well and winning. You talked about Jalen Green and doing a couple other things. I think something that really needs to show is his leadership on the court, right? He's doing leadership things off the court, but on the court, he needs to do things too. You know, I need to see him as an active leader on defense, right? We see Fred and Dylan Brooks doing a lot of talking on defense. Jabari Smith Jr., Amen Thompson, Tari Eason talking on defense. Jalen, not so much. As a guard, you know, I'm not saying that it's an expectation for you to be a phenomenal defender, but at the end of the year, there's always 4 players that are guards that end up on the all team first and second defensive teams, right? So you got to be solid at defense at some point, right? And at the end of the day, not necessarily being what they call Tari Eason as a defensive playmaker. I'm not expecting him to be that level of good, but just paying attention, being more consistent on the defensive end, right? Yes, defensive awareness, core awareness, and quit dribbling the damn ball off your foot. All right, I see you trying to get saucy sometimes, and you dribble that thing out of bro, not right now. It's not time to flash in this opening season. I'm expecting level-headed, right? If you want to get angry at them, cool, go off for 40. That's fine. That's different. But I don't want you to we up 5. I bet watch this.
All right, so
Ime finna say his ass down if you do that shit.
I agree with you, but I think when he's flashy, I think obviously history has told itself last March. He seems to be a lot more confident when he is. That seems to be the type of player that he is.
In March, he tried being flashy all season. And yeah, did he get dunks? Sure. Yeah, for sure.
When he turned that corner and he started being really flashy and confident, he started playing at all-star level.
But sure. How long do we got to take you? Do you got to take you 3? Like you did it your rookie season. It took you your rookie season. It took you the year before that, and it took you this year just to get how many times before it's too late? We literally lost game. We literally lost game because Jalen Green really didn't step up in the first half of the season. You can't be losing. You can't be, and you literally was benched like 10 games and watching your team win games, watching guys like Tari Eason out there and Amin Thompson out there playing way better.
Cam Whitmore
playing better than you. It's not a fun signing. That's not the Jalen Green that we signed up to see. We signed up to see the Jalen Green to go out there and lead this team to a playoff. But Jalen Green was supposed to be considered the best player when we drafted him. Now we're talking about Al P is our best player on the team. Jalen Green, no doubt, is our best scorer. But for us, to reach our expectations and him talking about the 6th seed, he needs to play better in the first half, not the second half. Don't wait till we get too late and wait till we get too late and we already fighting and struggling to get into a play-in tournament. Don't wait till too late, man. We need you more consistent in that first half. And that's why I feel like last year we could have definitely made the playoffs. We could have definitely made a play-in tournament spot. If we won some of those games that Jalen Green did not play well in. If we won a lot of those games that Jalen Green played in and stuff like that, we probably would have been a play-in tournament team. But I mean, again, we appreciate Jalen Green. It was a big part of why we was 41-41. Him stepping up and being a superstar in that second half. But that's been 3 years straight. You've been a superstar in the second half, but not the first half. We need you throughout the season, throughout the regular season.
100%, and that's I hate to say it, but that's the difference between being an elite player and a role player is when you turn it on. Mm-hmm. That's huge, right? At the end of the day, I'm not saying Jalen Green is a role player. Calm down, everybody. Breathe, Ryan. I see him nostrils flaring. Hey, breathe.
That was all you, bro.
We posted
all you, dog.
Press. We posted this on X. They gonna come for you now, but I ain't gonna let them come for you. Though. I ain't gonna let them do it.
I appreciate it, man. Look. We honest on the show, right? And I'm not saying that he's a role player. Obviously, look.
What if he is?
Whose jersey is that in the corner there, right? Take a look, right? Breathe. But at the end of the day, right, some things happen, right? And we'll see what happens with this season. This is the season to prove it. But we've talked way too much about Jalen Green, right? It's already been 14 minutes. We talked way too much about Jalen Green. Let's talk about somebody else, all right? Ryan, bro, give me another name. Let's talk about what do they need to do as a player?
Well, I think if we're going to talk about what they need to do as a player, let's talk about Alperen Şengün because this offseason, I don't think that he's been getting – hear me out. I don't think that he's been getting enough attention as he should be. He's not getting the attention that he deserves. I mean, in our fan base, there's a lot of Rockets fans who are like, oh, trade Şengün. And then there's that one Twitter user who I'm not going to name, but he does not like anybody on the Rockets unless it's Şengün.
Who shall not be named.
And you know who you are. I'm not shouting at any names because I don't want Rockets Twitter coming for me. But look, Şengün is the star of our team. He is the head of the snake. And I think that with Şengün, what do y'all expect from him? Because I think what I want from Şengün this year is 23, 9, and 5. Just 2 points better than last season, and I want him to be a little bit more efficient.
I mean, obviously the 3 ball is something.
Shout out Gatlin.
Shout out Gallon. I think the three ball obviously is something we've talked about where he needs to be a little more consistent from there, right? We defenses are okay with putting somebody in the middle, right, and letting people work around them. That's they just play back and guard from the free throw line. That's not a good look, right? But what I want him to do, not just like shooting wise, but I want him to be, like I need that lateral quickness to move up. I need him to be more tentative on defense, right? As the center of your team, the center identity is being the defensive anchor, right? We've seen defense like centers that are not defensive minded get smoked in the playoffs, right? DeAndre Ayton, right? People who can't hold their man.
On, I'm not saying that Sengun to Ayton, dog.
No, I'm not. It's not. I'm not one-to-one comparison. It's not a one-to-one comparison. But I'm saying like we've seen it happen in playoff runs time and time again, where if your center is a defensive liability against one player, they got one kryptonite, one weakness, they expose that weakness and your defense falls apart. It doesn't matter what team it is. Look, the Wolves were the #1 defense in the league. Rudy Gobert, who, regardless of how people feel about Rudy Gobert, he's got 4 decoys. I don't care. He's earned them. But Luka's just so good, and you putting that boy on an island, and Rudy can't do anything. It is what it is. That's a kryptonite. Being able to dance Rudy on the perimeter like that is, 1, phenomenal, but 2, at the end of the day, like you're getting cooked by Luka Doncic. There's nothing you can do about it, right? They expose that weakness, and even Jamal Murray tried to expose that weakness, but Jamal Murray and Luka Doncic. At the end of the day, my argument is being more defensive aware. I guess that's where I'm going with this. Jalen Green, I need to be more leadership and defensive aware, and LP specifically the 3-point, but obviously more defensive awareness. I need more of an anchor on defense. But yeah, Dante, do you have anything more to add?
I'm gonna say free throw shooting. Free throw shooting got to be better. Like if he make much as he gets in line, imagine if he makes 77 or 80% of his free throw. The man can average.
He shoot like 63% from the free throw line.
63, 70%, I believe.
Let's take a look real quick.
Yeah, but if he makes more of those free throws, LP can easily average 25 a night. I think his rebounding definitely would get better. I thought his defense got a lot better for us above the rim, but he can always improve on that. But I would just say free throws. If he makes free throws consistently and shoot it at least 77% or a 79% clip, hey, he can be a 25 points per game scorer. And by us being as good as we are, maybe that turns him into an all-star. That really turns him into an all-star.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I don't think we don't need much more from Sengun compared to Jalen. We need a lot more from Jalen, but we don't need as much more from Sengun, because if Jalen can play at his all-star level like we saw, and Sengun can stay at that same level, but they play at that same level together, which we didn't get to see, except for that one time. I think it was January 29th of 2024 against the Lakers when they both had 30 and 10. The youngest duo to ever do that.
Yep.
So I think that if we can see more of that next season, we're going to be unstoppable.
For sure. Also, I just want to bring back his free throw shooting, shot 69.3%. So I was wrong.
Yeah, if he can just bump it up to at least
74,
79, at least in the high 70s, he can average 25. And now you're talking about him being an all-star. When him averaging like 5 assists, getting 9 rebounds, you can talk about him being an all-star depending on.
He should have been an all-star last year.
Yeah, but we wasn't gonna get the nod over. You talking about Kevin Durant, Karl Anthony Towns. You talking about all of those guys.
And we definitely won't be getting the nod going forward because of Wemby now.
You got Wemby now, but I can see if we're winning games, and if we're around the 6th seed or at least somehow shot people and be like the 5th seed or something like that, I can see a way if he averaging 25 again. I can see a way he gets an all-star bid as a reserve. I can see a way he does.
I see a way Sengun getting the all-star nod if the Kings are not impressive this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they are faltering and they're not great, DeMar is going to be their only all-star because the NBA likes DeMar. He's going to get voted. Sabonis and Fox will not be all-stars if the Kings are not good.
I will say our notable wins is going to have to. One of our notable wins a couple of notable wins going to have to be against the Kings.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if we're fighting for a spot, I think the Kings are going to be up and down. I think the Pelicans going to be up and down, up in that situation. I think we know the Lakers going to be up and down, up in that situation. We know Phoenix.
It all depends on health.
Yeah.
It all depends on health. LeBron, Curry, Kevin Durant, Booker, they all just got done playing in the Olympics.
Yeah,
How
but
tired are they? Anthony Davis, how tired are they?
It depends. Like if we can squeak out at least 2 wins over each one of those teams, or at least a win or 2, that probably can be a difference. Like we got 3 versus Denver last year. We got 3. We beat them 3-1. We beat them 3-1, I believe, last year. So we swept them. Matter of fact, we swept them.
I was gonna say, yeah.
We swept them in the Kings. We swept them in the Kings. So we can find a way to do that. We'll be in a good position. Did
we sweep the Nuggets or did we sweep? It was right.
We swept the Nuggets. We swept the Nuggets.
Right. And we beat the Lakers. What, 3-1?
We beat them 2-2. It was 2-2.
2-2. Okay, we tied.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of our games with the Kings previously have been pretty close, but now with the addition of DeMar DeRozan, it's going to be. It'll still be a tough battle, but I still think we can handle it and beat them.
At the end of the day, the Kings just got older. That's how I'm looking at it. The Kings just got older, and AK, shout out AK. He brought this up on the pod, is how the youth is just going to run dudes out the gym, man. I mean, you have a lot of guys on the team that just want to get out and run. I mean, even Aaron Holiday, to a degree, likes to get out and run, right? I mean, we saw him poster some Knicks players, that was crazy, right?
And that's just sorry to interrupt, but I am just going to backtrack on what you're saying. The Rockets are one of the fastest teams in the league between Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore. Tari Eason is really fast. I mean, for his position and his height, yeah, he's got a motor.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. I mean, having those guys out there with someone who can push the tempo, like Reed, right? If you're running Reed, Amen, Jalen, Cam, and Tari as like a super, super small, like miniature small 5, like there's not a lot of defense being played, but like your offense is going crazy.
I don't think it gets talked about enough either. Fred, he's also he's fast. He's not super fast, but he knows how to push the tempo.
The ball's in his hands.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's got his tempo's quick if he's the one that
he has to have the ball in his hands for the tempo to be quick. If it's not in his hands, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But also Aaron Holiday, like you said, Aaron Holiday, he's also really speedy.
Yes. What do they say? Sneaky athleticism.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I mean, to put that in perspective, I think there's a couple other plays that we just talked about there in that stretch. Let's start with Tari Eason. Dante, man, give me your thoughts on Tari Eason. What does he need to do and like to keep going for this season?
Health.
I was gonna say health. I'm glad you said it, man.
I think he's on at least one thing he can do is just health. If he can just stay on the court, that would be a valuable option right there. I mean,
his rookie season, did he play all 82 games?
Yeah, he's played all 82 games in his rookie year. Last year he didn't play a lot last year, but I think, man, you see, because you clearly saw the impact when he was on the basketball court, when he was healthy, when he was right. You clearly saw the double-digit rebound, and the three-point shooter was very good. The finishing got a little better, but I think his main issue is health. If he stays healthy, I think Tyrese can just be fine alone, because the energy that he comes in the game with and the passion that he comes in the game and his defense, his ability to get up in that rebound, and him shooting that three-point ball like at a 34% clip, that helps out a lot. But I think his health, that's what I would say about Tyrese.
There's going to be 2 main factors that show the future of our team and what we're going to look like this season, and not just this season, but going forward as well. Tari Eason coming back and being healthy, and if Jalen Green is performing at his peak performance. Those are going to be the 2 factors that really push us to our peak as a team. And if both of those things don't happen, doesn't have to be at the same time, but especially at the same time, if those 2 things don't happen, I don't think we're a play-in or playoff team.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Tari is, I don't want to say like an underrated player, but he's so he's
underrated. Yeah, I saw a tweet today saying that someone compared him to I don't know. I saw a tweet today saying that he should get traded to the Nets or something for nothing. Tari Eason is criminally
Brooklyn Nets
underrated.
fans are in purgatory. That's probably why they smoking on something out there.
I'm gonna see if I can pull the tweet. Hold on.
Yeah. That's terrible. But anyways, yeah, Tari Eason is great, and I think talking about health is really important. Something I'd like to see him. I don't even like. What can you say about Tari besides health? I feel like that's like you look at Tari, you're like, man, he rebounds really well, right? He fights for the rebounds. He boxes out hard as hell, right? He sets good screens. He shoots the three ball. He's finishing, right? That was his only critique in his rookie year was that he couldn't make a damn layup. Guess what he's doing now? Making layups, right? I think that's a huge change and a necessary change for him to continue being an integral part of a playoff team, hopefully, right? But I think that's pretty much on Tari. Now, I'm looking at Jabari Smith Jr., and AK has said it a lot. He's saying that Jabari was the most improved player on the team last season, from previous season to last season, and I don't think that's an impossible thing to say. I think there's a fantastic argument that can be made there. But going forward with that, I really think that Jabari, we're looking at him, and I said it on the Rockets round robin, is he needs to be more aggressive. He needs to be more aggressive, not just like offensively, like demanding the ball, but I mean getting to his spots offensively and defensively, and fighting for those rebounds. I want to see the box out, the angry, like give me that, that Carmelo Anthony energy, right? Fight for those rebounds. That's what I want to see from Jabari Smith. If anyone's got anything else to add, looks like Ryan's a little busy. So Dante, man, what you got for Jabari? Dante just hanging out, bro.
Yeah, what?
What you got? Yeah, for Jabari Smith Jr., man, what are your thoughts on what he needs to do to excel in his role?
I mean, I think his shot very much improved last year. I think that's what he was expected to do coming out of college. I do think he need to get some more muscle on him a lot, so he can fight for those rebounds. I thought he played pretty well last year, despite the size. I think I think he can be an actual four in this league. I think he has the size. I think Ime Udoka done a great job putting him in spots where he can excel, like shooting those fadeaways, jump shots over smaller defenders, hitting the mid range, bringing the ball up the court, being more confident with that stop and pop 3-point jump shot. And I think you're getting a Jabari Smith, what you got in Auburn. I mean, I don't think he would be an all-star, nothing like that on that type of level. Or he probably still can be one in the future. But I can see him as our 3-and-D player, our 3-and-D4, like our 3-and-D4 person that can protect the rim, play good defense, switch on the guards, and also shoot the three ball very, very well. If you just getting that consistently out of Jabari Smith like we did last year, I think we'll be fine. I think Jabari Smith will be okay. And Ime Udoka put him in some great situations, man. On the post, you seen when teams ran zone, you saw him in the middle, able to knock down that mid-range jump shot at the free throw line. You saw that a lot. You saw him being able to bring the ball up the court and be confident and shooting and taking advantage of basically mismatches. So you saw that. And sometimes when you get a smaller defender, when you get a bigger defender, there was a time when we played San Antonio, I think it was in Houston. He had Wemby on him and he took him right to the rim and just laid it up on him. He ain't got an and one. So I like that when Jabari Smith be aggressive like that, and when he made Udoka put him in some situations that he can get his own shot and create his own shot, because Jabari Smith that type of player.
100%. That's very well said. Ryan, do you have anything to add on to that?
About Jabari Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring it up earlier, but first thing, I could not find that tweet. It's so far gone. It had like no views. I scrolled down to Twitter to the point that you can't even scroll anymore. But I think, yeah, Jabari Smith, I'm not going to lie, I was not locked in on what Dante said or you said about it because I was searching for the tweet. But just give me a quick recap of your all's points quickly.
Dante a lot more to, he's just saying being more consistent, essentially, I think, and continue doing what he's doing. And I was saying aggressive,ness. I need him to box out more, demand.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the aggressiveness. I think that he does need to be a lot more aggressive. I mean, he is pretty lightweight for 6'11" forward. What is he, 6'10", 6'11"? Something like that, 6'9", 6'10", 6'11". Doesn't matter. He is pretty lightweight for his size, and I think he needs to bulk up and maybe be a little bit more aggressive, work on his footwork in the post. But besides that, I mean, he's a pretty good all-around player for us. If he could just start hitting that three more and more and more, and then hitting that fadeaway jumper, and maybe, again, back to his footwork, learning some more post moves. I mean, let's say he starts training from Elijah Wan, he gets that dream shake, He's unstoppable.
Yeah, he'd be crazy crafty in the paint for sure.
That's what I'm saying. He needs some of that footwork. But yeah, besides that, I think he's going to be a great player for us.
Okay, I've got 2 more players that we need to talk about that I have on my list here. And if you guys have anybody to add to that. So first player I want to talk about is Dylan Brooks. What's something you guys want to see from him continue to grow? You want to see Dylan Brooks gone, Ryan? That's hot as hell, and I'm interested to talk about that here in a second. Dante, man, give me your thoughts first, though. What are you expecting to see from Dylan Brooks?
Man, like, as far as, Dylan Brooks, man, again, I thought he played pretty well last year, man. He didn't, like, it was times that he had his moments where, he didn't play well, but everybody going to run into that wall, man. So, man, again, one thing he added last year was toughness, and that's something we needed. That's something we needed.
That.
We really didn't have that 3 years ago. We clearly didn't have that. And he added toughness. I don't care if it was a technical foul. I don't care if it was defending a player. Dylan Brooks had our players out there fighting. He had our rookies out there fighting. And again, when we get into fights, we undefeated. We haven't lost a game when we got into fights. And I think that's what. But also,
that's what Dylan Brooks brings us, fights.
But he was also like a 35% 3-point shooter. That was improvement. That's improvement.
Career high in 3-point shooting.
That's improvement.
It could have been 63%.
He was making his threes. So again, playing defense, playing hard fought defense. We got everything we asked out of Dylan Brooks, man. That people thought we wasn't getting out of him. Again, he proved the worth every bit of that money that we gave him. 13 points. 13 points. He didn't need to average like 20 for us. He didn't need to average 15 or 18. He played his role. He just did what he needed to do. Yes, he had some off nights, and there was some times that he kept us in the game and won us some games. So I think Dylan Brooks is fine. I think Dylan Brooks is fine for one more year. I think he's good.
Honestly, him making 20 a year is really not that bad.
It's great for
everything. Yeah. I think we got him on a steal. Personally,
I don't know if it was a steal, but I think
I think 20 million for Dylan Brooks is a fleece.
All right, no, hear me out. Let me speak. For any other team that isn't the Nets, it's not a steal. The reason I don't think it's I also don't think it's a steal for us, and here's why. Or actually, no, I think that for the Nets it is a steal. For us, I don't think it is, and here's why. Sure, Dylan Brooks brings the aggressiveness. He's a solid 3-point shooter. He's a great defender. But we don't need to have him for 4 years on $20 million a year.
That's not what I'm saying. Because look, you're looking at it like the whole year, right?
I'm looking at the whole contract.
I'm thinking at it for as long as we're going to have him. We got
okay,
him.
I see what you're saying.
I'm seeing because we're not keeping him for 4 years, right?
I don't think we are either. Yeah, no, I don't think those 4 years guaranteed. Just like Fred VanVleet, his 1 year next year is not guaranteed. We can let him go next year.
I know.
After next year, we can let him go. We can let him go out because 2 years of him is the other 2 years that we gave him, or the third year. That's not guaranteed. So, and that will also find out how good Amen Thompson gonna be if he's really gonna step into that role, or Reed Shepard how he plays this year, which we'll talk about that. But yeah, I don't think we keeping Dylan Brooks for all 4 years. I don't think we keep Fred Van. We're not keeping Fred VanVleet for that. We're not keeping him that long.
I mean, I'm looking at it like this. Like Dylan Brooks, like again, he's a 3-and-D player, right? And he showed that he can really shoot the lights out if he has the correct shooting around him, right? And we saw that man hit 4, 5, 6 threes in games for us. Incredible from Dylan Brooks, right? Again, shooting career highs across the board, percentage-wise, phenomenal, right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I have some choice words. If he was on certain teams right now, they might be looking at. I think he's a guy who, if he's got the right pieces around, like if he fits in with that team and he's that one extra piece that a team is missing, I think they're a championship team.
I will say this about Dylan Brooks. Look, I love Dylan Brooks. I got a Dylan Brooks jersey last year for my birthday. Dylan Brooks is a great player for us. I think that he's great for our young guys. He's a great veteran. He's a great leader. But I think he does take away a lot of minutes.
Necessary minutes, man. You got to win games.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next point.
Games,
The one thing about Dylan Brooks is that I think goes really under the radar with him, he is clutch. He shows up in the fourth quarter almost every game when we absolutely need him to. Yep. He is cold in the clutch, and that he's super underrated for that.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. When you get a coach like Ime Udoka who's very strict, or who wants to come in and change the culture and wants to come in and win, just like D'Amico Ryans with the Texans, you don't got time to wait. You trying to win. You trying to turn this thing around. You don't got time to wait all to see what this person gonna do. See is this person gonna be productive. So if Dylan Brooks out there playing well, play him. Play the man. If Dylan Brooks not out there playing well, then you put somebody else in. That you put someone else in that's ready to play. You put a Cal Whitmore up in there, or you put a you put a
Jason Tatum there, am I right?
No, don't put him up.
Oh, right, yeah.
Put him on the bench like he did last year. So one thing about when you get back with Ime Udoka, I know Dylan Brooks is taking some minutes away from the players, but he's gonna figure that out, and he managed the minutes very well. Whoever didn't play well last year, that's who, and whoever played well last year, that's who stayed in the game. That's just how he did it. That's who stayed in the game. But again, Coach Ime Udoka is gonna always figure that out. But again, him as a coach. Whoever's playing well, that's who we're gonna put in. Fred VanVleet, no matter if he's struggling or not, that's the only person you keeping in the game. Fred VanVleet is the only person you keeping in the game down the stretch. Other than that,
invaluable to the Rockets.
I just have a quick question. I hope someone on Rockets Twitter is watching this and can clip this and then post it on Twitter, because this is a question that I think applies for all Rockets fans. Do y'all think, because we know Ime Udoka is a win now coach, the trade for the Suns pick when we were going to get Kevin Durant and then Devin Booker, do y'all think that was like a smokescreen because he knows that our team has the ability to win this year and he's going to turn the culture around this year and we could be a playoff team immediately?
We're getting those picks as trade currency. They're not picks I don't think we're going to keep. I really
right. That's what I'm saying. We're using them as trade currency, but do you think we were going to use them to try and get Booker or Durant? But instead that was a smokescreen for Udoka to say, we are a win now team. The league should be on alert. And we have the pieces to win and get into the playoffs, maybe even have a deep run this season.
I honestly think this season is going to show whether or not we need to trade and use those picks right now. I also think that Devin Booker to Houston, from what I'm hearing, is a real possibility if certain shit doesn't get together.
Sure, it's a real possibility if stuff doesn't get together.
I think that's a real
percentage. I think you got people that would love to come play for Coach Ime Udoka, and you seen Dylan Brooks, Jaylen Brown. You seen Fred VanVleet. I mean, this play, we really had to do some damage. This place was really a mess before Ime Udoka was named the head coach. When he was named the head coach, that's when everything kind of changed. But other than that, if some things don't go right, in the next offseason, you can see some offseason moves. You can see us trading a piece. Even if we do manage to make the playoffs, and we see something that we can improve on, see a position that we can get better on, why not make that move and upping us up to the next level? Why not just make that? Even if we do get the 6th seed and make the playoffs, all right, just say that.
I'm going to rephrase my question.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Is there something Ime Udoka sees that we don't see? Just from
for sure. Yeah. We don't see as fans. Yeah, we don't see the behind the curtains.
Right. Obviously, but what do y'all think that thing is? Because there's obviously something about the way he coaches our team and the way Jalen Green, like after subbing him out in the fourth quarter.
He believes in 2 players on our team.
Who?
I'm not saying on the channel. He believes in 2 players. And he believes in them. I believe in them.
All right, type it in the chat then.
Hell no.
I believe he believes in the core 6. I believe he believes in them. I believe he believes in Jabari Smith. I believe he believes in Amen Thompson. I believe.
Are you missing out on the 7?
Okay. I'm not saying.
You're not what you're saying, Chris. I'm just going more and more. I'm just evaluating it more and more. I believe in him. He believes in those young guys, but I'm not ruling it out. Like if we somehow go to the playoffs or make the play-in tournament, don't be surprised if
we have a deep run. That's what I'm saying.
If we make a deal in the next offseason just to get better and better, don't be surprised there. So I would not count that out. I would not actually kind of count that out. But yeah, Ime Udoka, he been in the locker room with those guys. He be at present. Of course, he sees some holes. They're gonna know something. Pause. But he's
plugging things.
Yeah, he's plugging them. He's checking them out. He know Jay Sean Tate ain't good enough to be on this team, but he's still on his roster. But other than that,
Jock Landale.
John Landale, he was very useful more than Jay Sean Tate last year. Jay Sean Tate.
Right, and now we have Steven Adams to take up those minutes.
But other than that, yeah, he's a coach. Steven Silas couldn't. He didn't know that. But other than
look, Jay Sean Tate.
He gone.
Yep.
Look, honestly, same with Steven Silas.
Hey,
like we ready, right? Honestly, at the end of the day, they're really just they're just we the Houston Rockets guys. And we ready. We really coming in the season right now. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
At the end of the day, some of these players just ain't made for it. We're gonna find out who it is this season.
Yep.
Are they like the rest? Or are they the next Jacob? Are they the next Usman Garuba? You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, I want to elaborate this again, Press. What we always talking about after Jay Sean Tate shot that 3 in Brooklyn, what Ime Udoka did? Come on over here.
Come here, young blood. I need you to warm up this chair. Hey, Cam Whitmore, go run and gun.
Yeah.
Immediately. Last player I want to talk about before we move on to the second part of the pod here is Fred VanVleet. I think there's not very many things we can expect him to change up. Honestly, the thing I want to see though is his pace. I want to see him actively get the fast guys involved, right? I like him spam and pick and roll with Şengün because it works. It works, right? But when you're running such I don't want to say heliocentric, but a 1-2 offense between your point and your center. And although Şengün can pass, right? They do have both of them have phenomenal vision. They can pass the rock. It seems like it's just a lot of like pick and pop play with Fred VanVleet and Şengün, right? Like, okay, you're not gonna hedge. Okay, boom, I'm booming this 3, right? And like, yeah, I like Fred shooting the 3, but I want to see other players get involved just a little bit more, and he does a good job. I just want to see the pace increase a little bit. So not a huge criticism. It's not a make or break, but faster pace. We did see changes to more wins, right? Especially in March, right? So that's all I got on Fred VanVleet. Does anyone have anything else?
I want to see his 3-point percentage stay the same. I don't want to see it drop. I don't want to see sure, I want to see it go up, but his 3-point percentage last year was the highest it's been in his career, and I want to see it stay steady at that same number.
Yeah, that's also pretty good. I'm attuned to that. Dante, you got anything?
Yeah. There's really not much to say about Fred VanVleet for me. I think, he's an ultimate leader. He's an engine to make the team, he's the point guard of the squad. He's the veteran of the squad. It ain't too much to say. He's going to give it all he's got. Even though as a miniature 6 foot like point guard, he's going to play hard on the defensive side of the ball. He's a very good defender to be his size. Not too much to say. Like, that's the only player you will play down the stretch, even if he's strong. He can be 1 for 20. He still be out there. He still be out there because, again, he's not just more. He's not a scorer. He's a very good passer. Very good passer. Pick and roll passer. He's a leader. That's what you need out there. You need someone to command the guys out there, and I think there's not too much to say about Fred VanVleet.
Exactly, and that's why I don't like. I was about to say I don't want to set too many expectations on Fred, if any, because we know why we brought him to Houston. He knows why he's here. He knows what his role with the Rockets is. His role is to be that leader and be the voice of our team.
My bad. That's my cue. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think that sums it up pretty well. Now, we got to transition to Reed Sheppard. There's a lot of expectations on this guy, I think, from outside fans. But I don't think as fans, like Houstonian fans, right, I don't think we're expecting him to be like Cocaine Curry, right? I'm not like that's not what I want him to be right now. Obviously, that'd be phenomenal, but that's not my expectation of him this season. So, what do you think are some reasonable expectations, some realistic expectations for Reed Sheppard this season? Or I want to start with Ryan.
55% from 3. No, I'm joking. Joking.
He hanging out with Brooklyn Nets fans.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to set an expectation for Reed because shout out Gatlin again. Gatlin said from his close sources, Reed Sheppard is going to be Fred VanVleet's direct backup. And if that is the case, then I will set some expectations on Reed Sheppard. I expect him to come out and be a rookie of the year. I mean, as he should be on paper.
If he is the direct backup, that's not impossible to say.
Right, I don't think it is. I mean, that's the expectation I'm setting from him. I think that he should be that point guard role that I think he needs to play the point guard role that we should be expecting from him. And
100%.
obviously, he needs to go out and shoot. I'm not going to say I want him to go out and shoot 40% from three because it's his rookie season. It's very different from college. I want him to shoot maybe 35 to 37% from three. I'm not looking for too much from him.
Yeah. Shout out our boy James Pearsley from the Rockets Round Robin on the Space City Scoop. He wrote an article talking about Reed Shepherd and some expectations. And in the article, towards the very end here, he brings up the fact that Jackson was suggesting, that Shepherd may lead the future. And with that, with what we're saying, I think we've said it here on the pod a few times that Reed Shepherd being drafted really changes the entire dynamic of the future, right? Because if we saw a men run point guard, we also saw him slotted at the two, right? But not really playing the shooting guard role, just playing the two guard. And we also saw him play the three in where I thought he was most dominant. He played the four quite a lot, right? And I don't know. I think is it real to say that Amen is going to move into that playmaking forward role? Is that?
I was going to say Amen Thompson is about to become a playmaking four. That is ridiculous. And if he can shine at that position, he's going to be a first team all defensive, hopefully, or second team. He'll be an all defensive player, hopefully this season. Definitely in the future. Could definitely see him being defensive player of the year. Obviously, not now, but at some point.
But yeah,
he has amazing court vision, court awareness. I mean, if he really succeeds at that playmaking four position, he's destined for greatness. Regardless of
100%.
what position he is, as long as it's not that 2 spot or 5 spot.
Yeah, and I mean, I think him knowing that he's likely to be a forward changes the trajectory of his career because now it's not as necessary for him to develop that jump shot, right? Like you still want him to get a mid range at some point, right? But it's not as necessary if he's playing the 3 or the 4 because you'll have a shooting 3 or 4, right? And likely your 5, you might be getting some small ball with Jabari at the 5, so you can hide them in now, and you still have 4 shooters on the court at all times.
Right, exactly. And I'm not here to say that Amen Thompson is going to be the next Giannis, but Giannis is a 3, 4, 5. He can play pretty much 1 to 5 without the 2, just like Amen. And they both don't have a jump shot. Sure, Giannis's jump shot has improved throughout his career, like any players would. But I'm not going to sit here and say Amen Thompson is Giannis, but it just shows you do not have to have a perfect jump shot to have a great career.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Dante, we didn't get to talk much about Reed here, so I don't know if you have any expectations for Reed. But if you do, what are some realistic expectations?
I'm gonna say realistic expectation because like I've been saying, I think he's gonna play and can be in the rotation this year. I think he's gonna play. I'm gonna say 8 points per game. I'm gonna say between 38 to 37% 3-point shooting for Reed Shepherd. I don't think you need him to score double digits. I think he will be fine with that. But I think he will be a big help in this rotation, being a part of this rotation now that AJ Griffin is gone. I can definitely see him. I would say I would definitely see him getting rotation minutes. I don't think no minutes will be taken away from him. Yeah. I think everybody else minutes will be good. I think Whitmore minutes will be good. I think Eason minutes will be straight. I think we know Thompson minutes is good. You can literally Adams minutes will be good because he probably will come in with LP when LP goes out. So we can run a 9-man rotation, 9-man deep rotation. That if you can go play 9 guys, that's a deep rotation, and all of them is pretty good. That's a pretty good rotation, and you're gonna need those 9 guys to step up. So not too much highest, not 8 points per game. I can see Reed, even 7. I can see Reed contributing to the rotation and helping out this team with his 3-point shooting, and him being a bad playmaker and stuff in the point guard position, shooting that mid range and getting his hands in the passing lane too. He very sneaky, put his hands in the passing lane on the defensive side. So
his hands are crazy.
Yep, definitely agree.
Now something else, I really think my expectation for Reed, right? I'm seeing him as like I think Dante, I think you're right that 7-8 points per game is realistic. I got him getting about a board and a half a game right in games that he plays. And I think realistically, he could average 3 assists a game, depending on his minutes, right? And that leads me to where I think his minutes are going to be. I think he's going to get 14 plus almost easily. I think by the end of the season, we're probably going to see him play more of that 18 minutes a game, maybe trying to lean off a little bit more on Fred and give more expectations and rules and whatnot to Reed Shepard. Playing that one, but Ryan said it first. He leaked the information. We all knew it was coming, but I mean, Reed being potentially the direct backup to Fred VanVleet, I really think changes the dynamic of how we're going to play this team going forward.
Who would it have been if it wasn't Reed Shepard? Would it have been Aaron Holiday?
No, it was going to be a men.
It was going to be a men, but yeah, I mean, then our bench rotation looks like Reed Shepard, then I guess Cam, and then Amen, Tari, and then Adams.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same rotation, like not
same rotation,
but that's
guys, but the minutes.
But if it wasn't Reed Shepard, it would have been Amen, and then I guess it would have been Chalk and Adams at the end of the bench.
But you're gonna find minutes for Amen anyway because the way he played last year, you're gonna automatically. Right. You don't have to It's like you don't have to play him at the point guard position. You don't have to play.
No, he can play 1 to 4 without.
Yeah, you can put him at the 4 like how you had him last year. The backup behind Fred was the most important thing. Whether Aaron Holiday getting those minutes or not behind Fred, that's one thing that everybody was worried about when we signed Holiday back. Oh, will Reed Shepard get some minutes? Now, Jackson Gatlin coming out, like I say, who's a reliable source, who's around the Houston Rockets locker room.
He knows what he's
talking
about.
He knows this information. He's not putting that out there for no reason. He's not putting that information out there for no reason. Plus, he put it out there to the people. He put it out, so the word is getting to him. Must be getting to him that he's putting it. He's feel comfortable putting out there with the people saying Reed Shepard could get those rotation minutes, and I'm very happy about that. Remember, it took an injury for Drew Holiday to crack the rotation last year. Unfortunately, he played well. He played well, and he deserved those minutes. He deserved those minutes because he played well last year, and he deserved it when Amen Thompson went down. And you can see as Amen Thompson got used to the NBA and came off that injury, he got better and better every game. And Aaron Holiday didn't lose no minutes because of the way he was playing. But now Aaron Holiday is a vet. He's a vet. In case any injury happens, say if Amen injury happens, hey, bring him in. You bring him in now. You just bring him in now. So I can see, like I said, I'm glad. I'm happy for the kid. Happy for Reed Shepard. Being a part of the rotation, being a part of this rotation, and I trust in Jackson Gatlin. That he's leaked that out there because he's around the team and he knows a lot more than we. He's at the practices. He's in that locker room and he's with Ime Udoka, right. So he knows something. He knows something that they talking about. That they on Reed Shepard. They are on.
I wonder if I don't know. I just think it's really interesting. Just Reed, as special as he is, right? It's just really interesting to say right now that he's going to be direct backup. Like, I don't know. We have been drafted really high, and we got lucky as hell. We got Reed in this draft, right? I mean, first off, we had like a 2.5% chance to get the 3rd pick.
Yeah,
and we got
really lucky in all 4 recent drafts.
Name a team in the last 5 years that has had a top 4 pick. Like every
in the top 20th spot.
Yeah. Like
yeah.
That's pretty incredible there. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that's pretty crazy. Now, with that being said, and draft picks and whatnot, I don't think we own any first round picks in 2026. So I think we're gonna have to start, doing some things.
Yeah, we could have had Cooper Flag, bro.
Could have, would have, should have. But here we are.
It's okay, we don't need it.
Yeah, we don't need
the Nets can have it. It's true.
Look,
can have him. I don't need him. We don't need him.
It's gonna be really interesting to see who ends up picking up Cooper Flag. But I do want to end it off with a question. I want to pose this. We talked about expectations for a lot of players and all that. The only expectation for someone we haven't talked about is for Ime Udoka. Do you guys have any expectations that you're setting or thinking of that Ime should meet, or just the coaching staff in general?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's anything that he should meet. I mean, we know why he came to Houston. We know why he signed his contract with us. It's to make us a winning team, to change the culture here. I mean, it's like the same, like what Dante said. It's the same with D'Amico Ryans. D'Amico Ryans has made the Texans almost a Super Bowl team. They could even make it this year. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I think Udoka is going to get us to the finals this year, because he won't. But I expect him to make sure that we are a playing team, at least. And potentially coach of the year. I think if we're going to talk about what we do expect from him in that aspect, top 5 in the votes, hopefully.
Wasn't he like
top 6 last year, maybe?
Yeah. I thought he was like in the running for top, like definitely top 10 for sure.
Yeah, I think this year I expect him to be in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, if realistically, if Houston makes the play-in, he's top 5. If we get the 6th seed, like a lot of people are saying,
I'm saying 5th seed.
Coach of the year. That's coach of the year. If we're better than if we're 6th seed or better, coach of the year. No matter what. But if we're in the play-in, I expect him to be top 5 for sure. But Dante, do you have any expectations for Ime, or like anything that you're like, hey, I want him to run more of this. I need this player to get more of this.
Like I say, it's some things that everybody will always can get better at, but I'm okay with Ime Udoka, man. We got the guy we got the tough-hearted coach, something that we need, and something that those players, Jalen Green called out and saying we needed structure, we needed toughness. That's exactly what the guy we got, and we've been asking for that for years and stuff like that. So, other than that, man, I say I think if we make the play-in tournament, or if we make the 6th seed, I think he should be considered coach of the year, man. I mean, 41-41, the best 41-41 team in the tough Western Conference in the gauntlet. Then coming back, possibility making a 6th seed this season and making the playoffs outright. That's enough for me, coach of the year. You flipped the whole organization around, but now it's going to be time for you to do more. What happens after, we make the playoffs? What we do with those picks? Do we get even better and have our expectations more higher? But other than that, I don't see no changes with Ime. I like him just fine, man. He's doing a hell of a job with our Rockets, coaching up our Rockets the right way, the fundamentals of the game, and got them playing hard every single night. Competing every single night. And you just gotta thank Ime Udoka for it. So again, I'm just looking forward to see what we're gonna do this year.
That was beautiful. I hope Ime was watching that. That was beautiful, Dante. You said it great. Ime is phenomenal. We have expectations for all of our players, guys. I want you to comment down below some expectations you have for players, who you have for coaches and all that. How about the organization? Is there moves, some trade pieces and whatnot you're expecting the Houston to at least try to get? Do you agree with this, disagree with this? And how many minutes do you think Reed Shepherd's going to get? How many minutes per game do you think he's going to get? What are his points per game? I'm very interested to see what you guys got to say.
I know you're ending it, but I saw something that said Reed Shepherd is expected to get 18 to 25 minutes a game.
Incredible. He's not getting 25 minutes per game.
I saw it's on Rockets on Sports Illustrated. Someone said that Reed Shepherd is expected to get 18 to 25 minutes.
I think 18 at the end of the season is realistic. 25?
I don't think 25 is realistic. I'm seeing
somebody's getting traded if he's playing 25 minutes.
Yeah, I'm seeing 21 a game max.
Interesting. But that's all we got for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to comment down below, letting us know your thoughts. Ryan, bro, where can we find you?
Y'all know where to find me already, at RyanDime15 on Instagram. Or no, at RyanDiamond15 on Instagram. I don't even know where to find myself. I'm all over the place. At RyanDime15 on Twitter. Obviously, now I have 4 stories up on Rockets on Sports Illustrated, so y'all can find me there. You can find me here on Htownrundown. You can find me on Rockets Round Robin podcast. And more to come.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Be sure to check all of us out on the Rockets Round Ramen, bro. Dante, before we go, man, where can I find you at? I've been trying to find you.
Yeah, y'all can find me on IG at Coach Dante 5 and on X at Coach Dante 31. Find me right here, Coach Dante, that Rockets guy, Round Robin, and on Htownrundown. Where we at, man? Excited to see our Rockets again. Preseason's almost here, and we ready to see another Rocket season.
Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir. We got a lot more things to come this season, giveaways and all that stuff. But we'll roll this out soon enough. Be sure to check out the website also at htownrundown.org, man. And be sure to follow this podcast at the Htown Rundown on YouTube as well as Instagram and Twitter, your main source for all Houston Rockets information. Be sure to follow me at drip2ps_GAWD on X as well as Instagram. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. See you guys next time.